Hello, welcome to Marla Guys, aka Third Eye, and I'm back here with another channel message. How's it going? Hope you guys are doing great wherever you are. I have a channel song today and I have a channel message. So I'm gonna go ahead and read the channel message and then I'm gonna get into the video. So the channel song, it is it's called In My Head by Jason Derulo. So the message is, I can't get you out of my head. Why am I constantly thinking about you? I can't stop daydreaming about you, about us together. It's so hard not not to. You are beautiful, mysterious creature that's out this world. I have so many thoughts and fantasies about you and us. I think I'm obsessed with you. I just need you in my life. It's getting harder to stay away pretending I'm not affected or I don't care, but I'm slowly losing control. So that is the channel message. If you want to take a look at the song, I will go listen to it on YouTube, so you can get a better understanding of what the channel message is about. So basically, this is like I want to call this like a twin flame reading or like a love reading. So this is from the divine masculine's point of view towards the divine feminine. So right now, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, they're not together. They're not in contact. They're in separation. It's no communication is nothing that's going on right now. But the divine masculine he has a hard time being emotionally available on the outside. On the inside, he feels so much. And it's hard for him to be vulnerable, especially with his divine feminine. Um, he portrays himself to be unbothered, like he intuitively he's like acting like he's unbothered. He's acting like none of the stuff that's happening is affecting him. um Not talking, not seeing the divine feminine is affecting him. So basically he's acting real nonchalant, but on the inside he is sad, he's depressed, he's crying at night by himself. He's just very like he's not there. Like he's not himself. And people are, if they haven't already, people are going to start noticing that the divine masculine is not himself, and people are going to start putting together like, oh, it's the divine feminine. He misses the divine feminine, and then they're going to start putting together like, oh, he's in love with the divine feminine. Maybe, they're not talking, they're not seeing each other, they're not around each other, so he doesn't get to see the divine feminine anymore, or he barely gets to see her now. So now he just has to think about the memories, the times that they did see each other, that they were around each other. He has to think about the times when they did have those interactions, but he's also guilty and beating himself up because he had time to actually bring the relationship together between the both of them. He had time to actually communicate and actually further the relationship, but see, he's still also operating from his ego. So the ego is playing his ego is playing a big part in why they aren't together, because he has this sense of he needs to control everything. He wants to have this sense of, I want this to happen my way. I want this to happen like this, instead of just having stuff flow together and just flow. So the resistance of him letting go of control is stopping the actual flow of the union to actually come together. And he's slowly starting to understand that it's his fault, and then him still operating, you know, when his with his 3D mindset, and him still having toxic ways and stuff. And he it's just some things that he needs to release and work on in himself, in order to actually bring this reunion together with his divine feminine. Now, the divine feminine has done a lot of work, and she is already on a higher scale when it comes to a lot of stuff than the divine masculine. It is not to make it seem like she's better, because she's not, and she doesn't deem herself to be. But if we're going to be honest, she's on a higher frequency in him, and he needs to be able to match her. So basically, he needs to come to her level. She doesn't need to come to his level. And it doesn't matter, like, materialistically, that's out the window. This is about spiritually and vibration wise. The divine feminine, she is way more in tune, tapped in, vibrating higher than the divine masculine. So she isn't going to go back down to a level that she have already mastered and overcame. So if he, divine masculine, really wants his divine feminine, he will have to sacrifice some things, people, places, habits, whatever. He will have to go through that ego death. He is still trying to um hang on to his ego. So, but his ego is the main reason why he is stuck. His ego is the main reason why he is stuck. I know the name of this video, the title. And it's not just pertaining to this situation. The divine masculine, his ego is stopping him in a lot of different areas in his life because of him having this sense of he needs to control everything, and that comes from a lack of just a lack mindset, and that's also stemming from childhood wounds because something happened in his childhood where he didn't have control. A lot of people who have this controlling issue and controlling personality is stems from them having childhood trauma where something happened out of their control. They couldn't control some type of situation or whatever that happened. Now, as an adult, they still have the same issue where they operate from their ego, and they have this sense of control, 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 my way, my way, my way. And they're not realizing that them operating like that is pushing people away. Um, things are not coming to progress. Things are not coming together, and they're constantly going to be feeling stuck and stagnant because things need to be able to flow naturally. And they're not flowing naturally because you're holding on and you're stopping the resistance. You're stopping the resistance. You're resisting the change. You're resisting the flow. So you're gonna constantly be at a stuck, like a standstill instead of flowing. So until the divine masculine is ready to actually let go and control, just be stuck. That is in life and in a lot of different areas. You know, he has to want change. He has to want change. He has to want better. He has to want to be better for his divine feminine. Because the only way that he will be with his divine feminine is if he actually does the work. Yes, so if the divine masculine wants to actually be with his divine feminine, it's going to be some things that he's going to have to sacrifice. Like, if you really love a person and you feel like that person is worth it, if you honestly, genuinely feel like that person is worth it, and you don't have to make a decision right away, But at some point, you're going to have to make a decision. If you feel like that person is worth it, then you have to make some sacrifices to be with that person. So right now, the divine masculine, he is constantly thinking about the divine feminine, constantly, like, he's obsessed with the divine feminine. He's in love. He refused to acknowledge that he's in love with the divine feminine, and he is trying to act unbothered and unfazed, but he loves the divine feminine. And it's not because of superficial reason. It's genuine. He really loves her. And this might be maybe his first love, but he doesn't know how to act. So he's acting in a way that's not unethical, and the divine feminine isn't going to accept the behavior, so she's going to just stay where she's at and let him do him. But she's also going to live her life. The divine feminine at this time, the divine feminines are rising up. The divine feminines are taking back control of their life. Right now, intuitively, the divine feminines are stepping into their power, stepping into, you know, these bosses. They're just having so many different opportunities and things coming to them. So they are focusing on their life, their career, their whatever in their life. That's what they're focusing on. They're not focusing on the divine masculine. And so the divine masculine, he intuitively he knows this. So it's like it's like while the divine feminine is focusing on her life, the divine masculine needs to focus on healing and fixing things in his life. So he wants to be with her, but he needs to make some choices and some changes, and honestly that's the only way. So if he wants her, then he knows what to do. That's the message.